my keys go. I want my keys go. Welcome and a very good morning to all of you watching live here on Chucker TV. We're coming to you live from Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 1, and it is another final here on this doubleheader weekend. The Grand Champions Cup 16-goal final. The two teams out on the field, Sebucan and Salmem, the team in the red shirts. And let's get straight down to business and introduce you to the teams. Salmem then, playing at number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for the one and only 3-goaler, Mr. Grant Ganzi. At number 2, a young man with a lot of talent. He plays off 1 goal, but he's well above that here, I'm sure, again in the final. Paquito de Navai, the number 2 there, playing off 1 goal. At number 3, the 5-goaler, all the way from France. Bonjour, bienvenue, Monsieur Robert Strom. And at number 4, ladies and gentlemen, the 7-goaler, the highest handicap player out on the field this morning. Please welcome Facundo Llorente. And at over for Sebucan, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very solid number 1, playing off 2 goals, Pablo Pulido. At number 2, easy to recognize him with the white helmet, playing off 6 goals. Please say good morning to Pablo Spinacci. Good morning, Pablo. Great to see you back in the saddle again. And then we have Bellini and Bellini starting off with the young gun of 4 goals, Juancito Bellini, playing the number 3 position. And the maestro himself, ladies and gentlemen, also director of operations here at Grand Champions. Please welcome Juan Bellini. Your 2 mounted umpires this morning from the United Kingdom, Mr. Mark Holmes from Argentina, Mr. Federico Martelli, and alongside me here, my co-commentator this morning and third man. Good morning, Mr. Steve Lane.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the continuation of the Grand Champions 16-goal tournament. And we've got a carryover score from the other day, a score of 9-6 in favor of STM. So Sebucan in blue in a little bit of a hole right here. Got to dig themselves out early. But remember, Yan, we have the Cats 2-point challenge today. So, you know, with a penalty 5B from the center, a change of possession, or even a penalty 5A from beyond center could close that gap rather quickly.
And that, of course, very well pointed out, Steve. That, of course, very much in memory of our friend Cat, who unfortunately passed away earlier in the week. So let's hope that we see a couple of those 2-pointers coming out on the score this afternoon, or this morning, I should say. Mark Holmes will be the man throwing in the ball from the stadium end for the first 3 chuckers, of course. And as you rightly said, Salmem coming into this final now, the carryover score from Friday when they met for the first time, 9-6. Here we go then, ball's into play, and let's see who gets the first touch, and it's going to be Spinacci. Pulido will send it back up into the danger zone, but straight away, Facundo Llorente, and I do correct myself, he is actually playing at the number 4 position this morning, as, beg your pardon, at number 3, and Robert Strom. Yep. Robert Strom, the Frenchman, with the number 4 on his shirt, so a little change in the way they line up. But keep an eye on that man with the number 3, Facundo Llorente. As I say, highest handicap player, 7 goals to his name. And if we look at the way they played, Steve, in that opening game on Friday, Facundo Llorente scoring a total of 4 goals of the 9 that scored. So nearly 50% of those scores coming from him for Salmem. There is the drive from the back door. And that, of course, is the man from France, Robert Strom, feeding the ball up to Llorente. Llorente now will try and do something with it, sending his attackers up the field. Paquito de Navai wanting the ball. Now he, of course, a very, very young but very, very talented young player. And he also, in that opening game, did a very good job scoring only 1 goal, but a very important goal. It was actually the first goal of that game on Friday. And he's on the ball as we speak with a nice little open backhand, feeds it up to Llorente. Llorente now has a man on. In comes a challenge from Spinacci, tries to take the ball on the near side, but Llorente finding a little gap there. Ganzi couldn't get underneath this one. It's going to be left behind for Robert Strom. Strom now will have a little look. He is also a man who's easily in a position to try and take a shot from distance. He will give this one to Ganzi, tease it up, but it's going to be picked up and turned by Sebucan and Juancito Bellini. Bellini now with a lot of space. Pablo Pulido going up, anticipating that ball to come to him. That one was a little bit short. Again, Paquito de Navai sends it back, intercepted by Spinacci. Spinacci now will leave this one for Bolini Senior. Juan with a nice drive out back to the right-hand side. Nice little change of direction here from Spinacci. Spinacci weaving his way through. Spinacci is in a position to take a shot on goal. He opens his shoulders and puts that one ever so slightly wide. So Sebucan getting closer and closer after initially it was Saint Mem going into Sebucan territory, coming deep down the field. So still a little bit early doors here. Both teams just getting a sense of how the opposition are playing today. Conditions absolutely perfect here on Field 1 at Grand Champions Polo Club. And again, Storm feeding the ball out to his right-hand side, looking for the 7-goaler, but straight away Bellini coming in to shut down Llorente. Llorente eventually untying that little knot over there. Needs to have a clear passageway. There's the pass. 3 players coming at it. Paquito de Navai in the middle. A bit of a slow whistle. How did you see that one, Steve?
And it looked like 2 players coming down the line, and a Sebucan player just comes in there on the near side, and that's going to be an illegal play. So the whistle sounds, and we'll see if that'll be a center hit. That ball going across the field at an angle. So umpires discussing where the ball placement or penalty selection should be right here. So that's going to be against Sebucan, I would assume. But it looks like Juancito Bellini in possession of the ball, bringing it back. So umpire is feeling that the STM player should not have been in there on the near side. And remember, there is no near side right away. So we will have a penalty 5A in favor of Sebucan. And Sebucan actually needing a quick goal, already missing one opportunity here this morning. But Juancito Bellini is going to try and turn things around.
Bellini taps the ball into play. Oh, another whistle. Another whistle. Now, what was that, Steve? Was that delay of play? Surely not.
It could have been a delay of game or improper blocking, but I believe we had a pick right there that was illegal, so STM will be the recipient here of a penalty 5A in favor of the red jersey players going towards the south end of the field.
So quickly there, the tables are turned. So what was a penalty hit from the spot of 5A for blue, Sebucan, has now resulted in a penalty 5A in favor of the red team, Saint Mem, and it'll be taken by the Frenchman, Robert Strom.
Improper blocking the call. Here is Robert.
Drills that ball nicely down the field. Looking, oh, you see that Paquito having to just duck his head there, not to get the ball on his head. As Bellini will pick this one up. Of course, Bellini very comfortable and very good at playing the number 4 position, in charge of feeding that ball and sending it up the field. Nice little near side shot over on the far side by Juancito. Picked up once again by Llorente. Has a deflection. I think it came off the mallet there by Spinacci. Spinacci does a little turn. Strom will pick this one up again. A little bit of a traffic jam going on over on the far side. Again, both teams not yet quite feeling it, Steve. Of course, yesterday, big day here at Grand Champions Polo Club. We had the final of the Triple Crown of Polo. Richard Mill setting a new precedent here by making it to all 4 finals, winning 3 of the 4 tournaments of the 2021 season. So a very strong team. So that all took place here yesterday, of course. Now then, Bellini sends a nice ball up the field, and he's found Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci being chased hard there by the Frenchman, Robert Strom. In comes Paquito. He can't get a piece of it. Another nice little lofted shot from Juancito. Back to Spinacci. All he had to do was just put it through. A little bit of a fumble right in front of goal and a whistle with 2:48 left on the clock.
I believe we're going to have backing into a pony on that play while we have our courtesy horse change right here as well. So I'm going to predict we're going to come back with live action with a penalty 2 from the point of the infraction in favor of Sebucan.
Well, as you said, Steve, Sebucan, of course, coming into this final now trailing by 3 goals. So an early goal, well, I don't think it's going to be that early. We're down to a little over 2.5 minutes left to play here in the first chukker. But they definitely need to get a couple of goals very quickly here to put the pressure back on Solmem, STM of course. And let's see how they fare. Now then, Steve, yesterday, of course, I was just talking about it. Great final here, which I'm sure was enjoyed by all you at home, of course, watching as well. So now that we've finished the grass season of the WPL, next week we're off down to Miami.
Miami Beach Polo, what a change in the venue, and always an exciting weekend down there. And I hear it's sold out, Jan. So a lot of people going to be there, and it's a big event. And the Grand Champions Polo Club always supportive and doing their great job down there. And you know what? It's been a great season here as well. We've had so much polo. I think we were only rained out one game during the season. Mm-hmm. And everywhere from 6-goal, 8-goal, 12-goal, 16, 20-goal, and 26-goal polo through the 2021 season.
No, it's been an absolutely amazing season. As you were saying, yeah, the tickets down to Miami sold out. But, you know, what is so great about this particular event? It is the first, or one of the first major events, which of course also very much supported by the city of Miami and endorsed. And of course the pandemic restrictions very much in place. So great that Tito and his team, Tito Gadenzi, of course, the man behind this, making this happen again this year. Last year, of course, it was cancelled. But, Steve, we are now at a position or in a situation as the players come back out on the field where we could possibly see a Cats 2-point challenge. Bellini, Juancito will take the shot from the halfway line. Now, remember, a shot from or beyond the halfway line all the way down the field to goal without any other player touching it will result in a 2-point advantage to the team that plays that play. Bellini here choosing to take the ball a little bit closer. 1 goal is still better than no goals, and he's picked it up again after a little melee of players. Bellini and his strategy paying dividends. So Juancito Bellini getting the score that he so much wanted after that play.
And actually, when we ended just before the courtesy horse change, just to let our viewers know, there was a penalty 1 called at the north end of the field. So when we came back with the courtesy horse change, that's why we had a center hit in Juancito converting that center hit. So now just a 1-goal difference between these two teams, which started out a 3-goal difference. So a score of 9-8 in favor of the red jersey players. And here is Spinacci on a clean, fresh set of legs on that gray pony, and a back shot there by Robert Strom. Here is Juan Bellini. So here is Sebucan once again attacking the goal. Juancito Bellini on the move right here, trying to get around Paquito de Narvaez. Juancito hits it on the bounce, but it's going to shank off to the right-hand side of the goal. Well, we will have a knock-in in favor of STM.
Let's look at the clock. 1:21 on the scoreboard, as you rightly said. Just 1 goal in it, a penalty 1, and then Juancito Bellini getting a very nice goal back there after that run, after he took that hit from the center. So all of a sudden, that 3-goal cushion shrinking down to just 1. Solmem now need to make sure that Sebucan don't start running away with it so early on. Again, on the halfway line, Bellini, a back shot picked up, even though it came off the player. But you can see the young man there, Paquito de Narvaez, not phased in the slightest. Another whistle on that play, and a little chuckle here from Steve. What's so funny, Steve?
Well, that was just a cross hook right there, reaching across the player's pony, and Paquito was thinking that the Sebucan player had to go to the offside. But, however, he was too far up in front, didn't have a play on the ball. So, once again, Sebucan, the recipient of a penalty 5A from the point of the fraction.
Taken very quickly here by Bellini. Bellini sends it up to the front door looking for Spinacci. Spinacci can't get a piece of it. Robert Strom does on the near side. Leaves it behind. Llorente now will stop and turn. Has a little traffic in the form of Juancito Bellini, who must clear way, of course, to allow that offensive play. There comes the drill out again to the right-hand side. It's picked up by Strom. Strom might be able to extend it to Ganzi, who was already up the field waiting for that pass. Here it comes now from Strom. It'll be picked up by Llorente on the bounce. Facundo Llorente finds himself just where he needed to be, and that ball with a perfect finish there from Llorente brings the end of chukker number 1, and that puts STM Salmem back in the lead and also into double figures. They leave the field 10 goals to 8. We'll be right back after the players change ponies. Make sure you join us for Chukka number 2 right here on Chukka TV.
An active lifestyle means you never stop moving. That's why only Theragun devices are designed to release your body's deepest muscle tension, so you can do the things you love. Land that pose, hit that final rep, taste success, and do it all over again. You only have one body. Make it a TheraBody.
Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us here at Chukka TV. A glorious Sunday morning, 10 goals to 8 in favour of Salmem. And we were talking a bit earlier, Steve, about the Cats 2-point challenge. Well, I'd like to also tell the viewers at home that in honour of our dear friend Kat, who of course is no longer with us, as this is the last game of the season, any 2-point challenge that is made, our executive producer Mike Ferreira very kindly has said that if anybody who makes a donation for the Cancer Research Foundation on behalf of CAT, he and Chukka TV will of course be matching that donation. So a very nice gesture here from our executive producer Mike Ferreira and his team, and of course Chukka TV. So let's hope, Steve, we see a few guys out there making a, or at least attempting to try and make a Cats 2-point challenge. As we said, very, very dear friend earlier in the week, and I think this is a genius idea, and she will be remembered very fondly by so many of us who brought so much joy wherever she went and wherever she was. Of course, Kat, a camera lady here working for Chukka TV. So Mike, thank you very much to you in the studio. Any donations made on any 2-point challenge will be matched by our executive producer Mike Ferreira. So here we go then. Ball players back in on the field after a quick pony change. Mark Holmes, the umpire from the UK, will throw the ball into play. And if you've just joined us, it is still 10 goals to 8. We had a single goal coming by Facundo Llorente, a penalty one, and a score by Juancito Bellini in that first Chukka. As here we now go back to the action. As Facundo on this play, Spinacci coming over from the left-hand side, just taking that right of way, which of course, Steve, is a no-no. A good call here by the umpires. You cannot just come across the right of way from a player, which of course is an infringement, an infraction on the play. So a good call by the umpires, and it looks like they're going to place the ball on the penalty 2 spot, which of course is 30 yards, undefended shot on goal.
Yeah, a chance for STM to go up by 3. Not victorious in that first chukker, with Sebucan scoring 2 goals to STM's 1. However, STM still leading the game with a score of 10-8. But here is Robert Strom on this penalty 2.
And we've seen Robert Strom hit some big balls already earlier in the field, very fast. So let's see how far this one goes. This one, no mistake. The Frenchman there making or restoring that 3-goal advantage. And the first goal for Monsieur Strom. And if we look at the way he played in the opening game on Friday, he actually scored a total of 3 goals. So again, a very high score there for the Frenchman. Remember, they came into this final 9 goals to 6. That's how they finished play on Friday afternoon. So they line up again, balls in play. And once again, it looks like the red team got the better touch until Juan Bellini will send that ball back out to the side, looking for and finding Spinacci. Spinacci just a little bit too slow, appealing there against that shot coming from Facundo Llorente. Umpires allowing play to continue, did not see that as dangerous play. And the Grand Champions Polo Club umpires, of course, equally as the WPL umpires, always trying to be as lenient as they can. As soon as it's a health and safety or a hazard issue, especially for the four-legged athlete, they will then, of course, resort to blowing that whistle. Nice little near-side backhand coming there from Paquito de Navai, but only as far as Juancito Bellini. Juancito might just leave this one behind. He had Spinacci, who tucked in behind. A little snapshot there coming from the Frenchman and sending Facundo Llorente on his way. Strom wants it back. You can see him running up the field, but Bellini sticking with him. And that might give a little bit of space here for Llorente. Llorente couldn't control that ball. In comes Paquito de Navai. And tucked in nicely behind. Nice to see the way Saint-Mem are playing together here. Ganzi in behind. Paquito couldn't take it all the way to the front door as Juancito Bellini tried to run away with it. But, Steve, we had a whistle on that play.
Yeah, I believe a little right-of-way violation right there against STM. So Sebucan going to have a penalty 5B. And once again, a possibility of a Cats 2-point challenge right here.
Well,
the wind at their back, I might add, too, Jan.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, of course, who do you choose? Juan Bellini, of course, very strong, very powerful hitter. I'm sure he's hit a few penalty 5Bs and scored from there. Now, the players all very much aware, of course, of the Cats 2-point challenge. And as you rightly said, with a little bit of wind in their back, you never know. Here we go. Bellini, what's he going to do? Well, he's going to do exactly what Juancito did a little bit earlier on in the game. In the first chucker, just taps up all into play. Needs to get past Paquito de Navai. Here now the drill up to the front door. That ball seems to find its own way. And a little touch there from Pablo Pulido to try and keep the ball in play. Eventually it goes over the back line. So a nice little team play there, but unfortunately no score for Sebucan, as we're down to 5 minutes left to play here in Chukka number 2. Once again, possession for the team in red, Saint-Mem. So no one yet, Steve, having the courage or at least attempting to try and get a 2-point challenge. Let's hope that changes throughout the course of this game. Ball's back in play, and it's tapped in on the back line by Robert Storm. He was looking initially there for Facundo Llorente. The ball didn't quite get to him. Bellini once again will turn things around very quickly here, going from defensive play into attacking mode. Bellini with a daisy cutter. That ball seems to be running, but again, very close, not much in it. A little bit of power play here coming from Sebucan, but they're not hitting the target, Steve.
No, they're shooting a goal, dominating this end of the field, but not putting it where it counts. So once again, Robert Strom is going to bring the ball in, back into action off the back line, and he chooses to go across field, looking for Gret Ganzi. However, Juan Bellini, first to arrive on the scene, and Strom's going to go back and try and keep it on the field, but no, he's going to attempt another knock-in. The umpires will drop the ball, save the goal judge a little bit of a run right there. So Paquito and Llorente coming together, getting a little strategy going. Strom off the back line. Strom looking downfield. Llorente breaking to the right, and 2 red jerseys downfield, and Grant Ganzi's coming over here to the left-hand side, and once again, Paquito and Pulido come together, and Juancito Bellini with a back shot right to Spinacci. Spinacci unable to deflect that ball, and Llorente's going to go back and retrieve that loose ball. Turning quickly to the inside of the field and sending it back up, looking for Grant Ganzi once again. However, Pulido's going to come in for a near side back shot, and falls across the line and the right away right after the back shot. So the umpire's whistle sounds. A good call by the officials. And looks like we are going to have a foul shot in favor of STM when the umpires place the ball. And Yan, also another little trivia question that we've got. If any of our viewers can guess how many total games we've had this season at the Grand Champions Polo Club, Chukka TV is going to give away a prize. So if you're out there watching and viewing, get on our comment section and let us know how many games you think we've had this 2021 season for a prize, should you guess correctly.
Okay, so does that mean it's the closest guess, or is it has to be exactly the number?
Well, that's a good question. I would think the closest guest would come in, and only one guest per person. Don't be sending in 4 different numbers from
Changing
from
your
one
name
viewer.
from Steve to Susan.
Yeah, or Stephanie. Yep. So there we have it. So it looks like a penalty 3 here in favor of STM.
So quick courtesy change at 3:18 on the clock. 3 goals in it as we speak. Looked like Solmem had a little bit of a wobbly moment going on in that first chukker when Sebucan coming out, getting 2 very quick and much needed goals. Remember, they came in bringing the score over from Friday's game, which was 9 goals to 6 in favor of the red team Solmem. And teeing up the ball once more is the Frenchman. Robert Storm having already converted from a penalty 2 position a little bit earlier. On the north side of the field, remember this field here, Grand Champions running north to south or south to north. So now once again a long run up here for Robert Storm, taking the ball down towards the south end to try and actually make it a 4-goal cushion in this final. Well, a lot of power on that shot. Nearly took the head off the goal judge with him. And another great strike, a penalty 3 and a conversion. Robert Storm, goal number 2 for him in this final. And that, as I said, Steve, gives them a nice cushion now of 4 goals, 12 goals to 8, with a little under 3 minutes left to play on the clock.
So the players will line up once again on Mark Holmes, one of the few mounted officials that bowl in left-handed. Shouldn't make any difference to the players. However, here is Lorente. Lorente, to win that bowl in, sends the ball upfield looking for Paquito. Paquito trying to check down, can't quite get to it, and Strom with a shot that's deflected off a pony, and Juan Bellini with a near side back shot picked up by Ganzi, ridden off by Juancito Bellini. These two the best of friends, but opponents today, Bellini being ridden off by Grant Ganzi. Bellini can't quite get a hold of it, and here comes
Lorente will turn it on the halfway line. He's got a man out on his right, but he might just send one down the field on him by himself. Well, that was a nice shot there by Llorente, but he just put it wide. He had the choice because you saw that Robert Strom was running down the field. Very active this morning here in this final. So that one ever so slightly going just wide. Now, forgetting the score for a moment here, but it just seemed to me, Steve, that the boys in red, Solmem, are just gelling and connecting a lot better at the moment than Sebucan. We haven't really seen Sebucan play the way we're used to. Also, I haven't seen that much here from Pablo Pulido. Now, he, of course, very much always up front, looking for that ball to come to him to run with it. Very solid, of course, of 2 goals, but hasn't really had that many opportunities. Spinacci sends a nice long ball down the field. It's going to be intercepted and cleared by Ganzi. Did not quite get the length on that ball. Now Pulido, I was just talking about him, right in the thick of it in front of goal. They have possession. Spinacci tries to take a shot from the second row, and I'm sure that was Juancito Bellini. Bellini getting a very important goal, and that is goal number 2 for the 4-goaler. So they are now shy of going into double figures as well. We're down to the last 50 or so seconds of the second chukker.
He is dead. Here we go. Yeah, Juan Bellini, the star of the show for Sebucan right here in the first 2 periods of play. So once again, a bowl in with a little over 30 seconds left before the first horn goes, and Pablo Pulido out of the air in the bowl in, but it looks like Strom is going to come across and whistled for his efforts that lining the ball off of Bellini's mallet at an angle to the north end of the field. So we will have a penalty 5A right out of the bowl in. Everybody's standing still. So Juan Bellini will put that ball back in play. Wind at his back. Is he going to shoot or is he going to tap? Paquito de Narvaez right here, not giving him much room. Going to mark him close, but Juancito Bellini and Pablo Spinacci is going to go down front as well. So Juan Bellini trying to get around Paquito. Hits it into Paquito. However, Juancito Bellini comes in to help out and is going to end up with that loose ball. Juancito looking for Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci having a scoring opportunity right here, and that ball, was headed for goal and is going to be just off to the right-hand side, hitting and spinning and rolling to the right of that right-hand goalpost. So stay with us with a score of 12-9 right here at Grand Champions Polo Club, and we are live on Chucker TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, it is still very much anyone's game. Steve, you were just talking about Juancito Bellini, the only man to so far have scored, and also penalty one, which was awarded, of course, in favor of Sebucan. And if we look at the score sheet from Friday, remember they left the field 6-9, Sebucan, of course. Well, all 6 goals on Friday were actually scored by Juancito Bellini, and he's, of course, very much continuing with what he did on Friday here on this Sunday morning. Here at Grand Champions, great to have you tuned in. Of course, this is the final of the Grand Champions Cup 16 goal 2021 final. And we are still one chucker away from going into the halftime break. So far, Steve, I'm sure you'll agree with me, it's been a very, very strong performance here by Solmem, STM, the team in the red shirts. The first chucker was very much in favor of Sebucan. Remember, they came into this game now, into this final, trailing by 3. A penalty one and a score by Juancito Bellini. They left the field at the end of that chucker, trailing by just 2 goals. It was 10-8 in favor of Solmem. It was Facundo Llorente scoring the only goal in that chucker. Chucker number 2 again, Solmem scoring twice. Robert Storm converting a penalty 2 and a penalty 3. And Juancito Bellini, as you rightly said, the only man to score for Sebucan. Here we go then. Action continues. Chucker number 3, Storm sending the ball out to Llorente. He wants it back, immediately surrounded there by 2 blue defenders there from Sebucan. Bellini nicely picked up and sends it to Spinacci, who opens his shoulders and slices a fantastic cut shot. So Pablo Spinacci very much showing his worth here, and an important goal for Sebucan, making them, or bringing them into double figures. 2 goals in it, 12 goals to 10.
Also, the first player to score since Juancito. Juancito scoring all 6 goals on Friday, and all goals today except for the one just scored by Pablo Spinacci. The ball's back in play, and Spinacci on this great pony getting a lot of things done. Here is Pablo Pulido, but Grant Ganzi beats him to it, and here is Llorente. Llorente trying to get around Juan Bellini. Juan Bellini with a hook, but Llorente still maintains the ball on the near side. Now Bellini trying to get that ball away from Llorente, backed up by Juancito, and here comes Pablo Spinacci and also Robert Strom. Strom waiting for clearing of players and hits the ball downfield, but once again, Juan Bellini right on top of the play with a near side back shot, and who's going to be the first to get there? But whistle on the play as Paquito and Pablo Pulido come down the right away, so I believe we will have a foul shot in favor of STM. Both whistles go off, and we always like to hear 2 whistles go. That way, it's the umpires are certain, they're on the same page, and they're sure of what they called.
Absolutely. But you know what, Steve? Speaking of whistles and speaking of fouls, I think it's been a relatively clean game here. One or two little unintentional fouls, of course, but overall it's been a very, very fair and a very high level of sportsmanship being displayed by both teams here. So, a penalty, once again an open goal and a chance here for Robert Strom. Remember, he's already converted from a penalty 2 and a penalty 3. This will be his second shot on goal for a penalty 3 conversion, which of course would restore that 3-goal cushion that they've literally had since when they left play on Friday back here. Now for the final. Nice long run up as always by the Frenchman. Getting his pony into a nice calm canter. Undefended, of course. Sends it high in the sky. The goal judge will raise his flag. The umpire also agrees. So another conversion here. A penalty 3. No mistake for the Frenchman. And that is that 3-goal cushion I was talking about.
Robert Strom's third goal of the day. And, Jan, we have been notified that the players do not want to take a halftime. They want to continue playing, so don't plan on taking a long break in between the third and fourth period as we get ready to continue third chucker action right here. Ball's balled in by Mark Holmes. Juan Bellini waiting for Strom to clear. Bellini with a shot downfield looking for Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci still on that gray pony. He likes it very well, and here is Strom with a back shot to Paquito. Paquito picks it up, but now Juan Bellini Sr. ridden off and a nice tail shot right back down the field, but Grant Gansey's going to meet that ball. Deflecting it so no Sebucan player can have a play. In comes Spinacci against Strom. Hooked by Spinacci. Spinacci with a little flip shot out, but Llorente's going to end up with a Llorente going to turn the ball and run it to the outside and now turn back towards the inside, trying to get around Polito with a nice shot downfield. Deflected and picked up by Strom. Strom with a shot downfield of his own. Grant Gansey gets a little piece of it, but Juancito's going to pick it up. And who comes in but Paquito for a near side back shot. Now Strom tries to send it to the goal, but doesn't make solid contact. And here is Juancito. Juancito working that ball forward. It's deflected just a little bit off of Spinaccio's pony. And Bellini Sr. calling off, telling him to leave it. Juancito going to check down, pick that ball up on the offside. Allows Llorente to clear. Here's Juancito. Going to work it farther towards goal. Strom right behind him. He's in 2 red shirts. Puts the ball to the offside, and we've got a whistle right there and a shading call, I believe, is going to be the result for an open goal penalty in favor of Sebucan. 3 goals behind. Now a chance to close that gap to only 2.
Indeed, with 4:17 on the clock, still plenty of time here for Sebucan to turn it around, but it seems a lot of hard work at the moment for Sebucan to try and get themselves within a position to take a shot on goal. Salmem playing very solidly also in defense. Now then, Bellini. You can rely on Juancito again, no mistake. Juancito Bellini converting a penalty 3. And as you said, I beg your pardon, a penalty 2. So Bellini, again now with 3 goals to his name in this chukker. As I was saying, continuing very much with what he did on Friday when he scored all of the 6 goals. 2 points in it and 3:50 on the clock as the players come back down on the centre line. And I think, Steve, yeah, there is that whistle. The players were just looking at the umpire saying, well, you know what, now is as good a time as any to go for that courtesy change. I think only Juan Bellini deciding to stay on the field. So, difficult to really tell who might have the upper hand here. But, you know, very so often, Steve, in these type of games, you know, it's going to come down to the 5th and 6th chukker. And Sebucan still have a little bit of work to do, but they seem to have a grip now, slowly but surely, on Salmem. But I've got to tell you, very impressed this afternoon, or this morning, I should say, very much by Robert Strom, having done a very good job, scoring a total of 3 goals so far. And a couple of shots he had a bit early where he was just, I think, a little bit overzealous there, trying to hit that ball and send it between the uprights. So let's see when they come back how they will fare. There is still plenty of polo to be played. Of course, we are still in the first half if you've just joined us. Let me just quickly remind you, if you have only just joined us, who's out on the field and what you are watching. You are watching the Grand Champions Cup 16-goal final 2021. Sebucan, of course, in the blue shirts, leading the way there with Pablo Pulido, Pablo Spinacci, and then Juancito and Juan Bellini playing number 3 and number 4. Solmem, the STM team, with Grant Gamsey at number 1. Paquito de Nava, I haven't seen as much of him yet in this game as this final as I would have liked. He's at number 2. Then we have the man with the 7 goals to his name, Facundo Llorente, at number 3. And, of course, the Frenchman, Robert Strom, at back, playing number 4. They are currently in the lead by 2 goals, 13 goals to 11. And I remember that score was carried over. They came into this final leading 9 goals to 6. That's how they played on Friday. Oh, and Paquito there getting a little bit of an entanglement there. And I think he got a knock on his back. Of course, unintentional. Had a little bit of a collision there with Juan Bellini. So let's hope young Paquito is okay. Well, he's not had to get off the saddle. Umpires now just comparing notes in what they saw. And after a little bit of a conference there, and also I think having a few words with Bellini, I think they're going to give this a penalty 5A, a hit from the spot in favour of red. And as I say, I'm sure that was an unintentional collision there between Bellini and Paquito de Navai. Here's the shot taken very quickly by Robert Strom. He's found Paquito. Paquito now having to deal with 2 Bellinis. Paquito couldn't get the shot off onto goal. Juancito got a piece of it. Facundo will pick it up, but I think Facundo here the culprit. As well, I don't know how you saw it, Steve, but it looked like Pablo Pulido has already established himself on that line. So in my book, that looked like a right-of-way infringement.
Yeah, a little bit of a riding into the swing right there. So Sebucan going long. Ball headed towards the boards. So a penalty 5A in favor of Sebucan. And Juan Bellini Sr. is going to put that ball back in play. Here comes Paquito on that paint pony to put some pressure on him. Bellini hits a shot downfield. Grant Gansey, the first one there, hits a tail shot where Llorente's going to jump on that line and send a quick shot right back up to Paquito. Paquito, don't leave this little young upcoming star alone, because he will score. Juan Bellini goes back for the hook. Paquito on the bounce and sends it right on through. And just as I said, you cannot leave that young man alone, because he will hurt you. So STM once again going ahead by 3 goals here halfway through the 3rd period of play with a little over 2.5 minutes left here in the 4th Chukkers. So the players coming back to center. Sebucan in blue, STM in red. Field going north and south, so Sebucan headed towards the north end of the field and STM headed for the south towards Lake Worth Road.
Yeah, nice little play there for the first time in quite a while. Paquito able to have a little bit of space after that pass came to him, and then he made no mistake. Oh, another whistle on that play, Steve.
Llorente just coming over there, taking the offside play and fouling the second Sebucan player. So right away violation right here. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll have an open goal penalty, as location of the players on this play very important, as a player to hit to up front and only 1 red jersey up front. So looks like Sebucan will have a penalty 2 undefended 30-yard shot at the north end of the field. Juan Bellini Sr. chooses to change horses, so we'll see if they wait on him or not. We have had our courtesy horse change. 2:08 on the clock with a score of 14-11 and a chance here for Sebucan to close that 3-goal margin by only 2.
Well, if there's one man you can rely on, it's definitely that man with the number 3 on his shirt, Juancito Bellini, so far. Not making any mistakes here, and they are being gentlemen, of course. Just going to wait that extra couple of seconds for Juan Bellini to come back. The umpire's called play, and Juancito now looking for his 4th goal of this final. A little chip shot here. nicely done, no mistake. The second penalty 2 converted by Bellini. So that makes it a 4-goal scoring tally for the 4-goaler. And as you said, Steve, closing in on that gap, but they haven't really gotten much further than just exactly those 2 goals. They were briefly in by 1 goal trailing, but then Solmen turned up the heat again, came back very quickly with a couple of goals, especially there in Chucker number 2. Again, Robert Strom doing a very good job converting a penalty 2 and a penalty 3. Ball is back in play on the halfway line. The Frenchman, Strom, will pick it up, snap one up to the up the front of the field, looking for Paquito de Navai. Paquito tried to take that one out of midair, but he had a man on Spinacci. And now Juan Bellini will send it out to the right, looking for and finding Juancito. Now, these are the kind of balls that Pablo Pulido loves to run and gun to. Unfortunately, couldn't get a connection there as Grant Ganzi just beat the 2-goaler, getting to that ball. Again, Strom snaps on over the halfway line. He's found Llorente going on a flyer here. Llorente, all of a sudden, it's 2-on-1. Llorente, what will he do here? He checks up, has a little look. He's got to be careful. Spinacci's coming in, but Ganzi, he was left unattended and again intercepted. And now this could be a day at the races here as Spinacci will pick this one up. He's got no one to play it to. He might have to run this one all by himself. Spinacci, where is the next blue player? No, it'll be Paquito. Clever little play there from Paquito, sending it out on the tail side of that pony. A tail looking for Facundo. A whistle after the horn, right underneath the commentary box. Well, we will let you know what the outcome of this little melee of players is. When we come back, it is halftime. A very brief halftime, as you said. The players want to continue playing. It is 14-12 of the Grand Champions Cup 16-goal final 2021. We'll be back in just a few moments.
The world's best polo in your pocket. Chucker TV, the only app you'll need to watch polo. The world's best polo in your pocket.
Chucker TV, the only app you'll ever need to watch polo.
Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us here. A beautiful, glorious Sunday morning here at Grand Champions Polo Club. We are watching, or you are watching, the Grand Champions Cup 16-goal final 2021. Now, Steve, you had a little quiz question earlier on for some of our viewers at home watching around the world. Tell us, any takers on that yet?
Well, the question was if one of our viewers can guess how many games we have played this season at the Grand Champions Polo Club, and that counts all handicap levels of tournaments: 6-goal, 8-goal, 10-goal, 16-goal, 20-goal, and 26-goal, and 12-goal. Don't forget the 12-goal. Then Chucker TV is giving away a prize, so be sure and get your guesses in. And just a couple of shout-outs. Johnny Alvarez Beline is watching, and so is Peter Luke Williams. Glad to have you too. back on Chucker TV watching. In fact, Peter Luke Williams is the only one who has taken a shot at it, and he guessed 138 games, but he also says a lot of exciting and excellent games. Tommy Biddle's on watching this morning, as well as Bonnie Blake and J.C. McMillan, and Guillermo Jordale is watching as well. So glad to have all of you tuned in to Chucker TV, and we will get an answer from Mike Fiera in the booth, in the studio rather, and he will tell us how many games we have had and who our winner may be.
Yeah, well, good luck to that. Nice to have Mr. Biddle watching us. Good morning, Tommy, of course. Another polo legend. Hope you're enjoying the action here. 3 more chuckers to go. 2 goals in it. 14 goals to 12 at the moment for the team in red. If you've just joined us, let me just quickly run you through who's out there on the field. So in blue, Sebucan with Pablo Pulido, Pablo Spinacci, Juancito and Juan Bellini making up Team Sebucan in the blue shirts. And then Solmem, STM leading the way with Grant Ganzi. At number 2, Paquito de Navarre, who scored a super goal in that third shot just a few moments ago. His first of the final. And then, of course, we have Facundo Llorente and Robert Storm, the Frenchman. That is your team in the red shirts. So, Mem, who are, well, on the right road at the moment in winning the Grand Champions Cup 60-goal final 2021. But there is still a lot of polo to be played here at Grand Champions Polo Club. We are coming to you from field number 1. This is where all the action happens. This is, as we like to say, Steve, where the champions are made, born, raised, bred, and of course playing here on Chucker TV. We're going to continue with a hit from the spot in favour of Sebucan once the umpire calls play. All 4 players back out on the field, and we had a little infringement right here, as I said, just before the end of the half-time break. Bellini on that line, and as a result of that, the umpires have awarded a hit from the spot, a penalty 5-8. So as soon as the umpires call play, Juan Bellini will get the second half of this final underway.
Yeah, a little standing on the ball when we left at the end of the third period after the first horn, so that ended the third period of play. And as you mentioned, Jan, penalty 5A en route for Sebucan. Mark Holmes now mounted up and back on the field after loading up with polo balls for this second half about to get underway right here. So players getting in position. Play has been called, and here we go. Juan Bellini going to dribble that ball down the field. Paquito been marking him very well on these free hits. So once again, Bellini sends it back down the field, and Spinacci ridden off by Strom. But Juancito, once again, is going to leave it for Dad, and Dad's going to hit a cut shot towards goal, a little bit off to the left-hand side and short, but ridden off by Paquito, left for Juancito. Juancito dribbling the ball towards goal. Juancito been the star of the show and still has more to show us, and a whistle right there in front of the goal, so it looks like a penalty too, coming in the way of Sebucan from the point of the infraction, I would assume, and this could be a one-tap, narrowing that margin from 14 to 12 to 14 to 11, and Juancito Bellini has been taking these open goal penalty shots, and he is deadly.
You meant 14 to 12 from 14 to 13, not to 11, didn't you, Steve?
That's correct.
Yes,
yeah, I'm going backwards today. It's Sunday morning.
That's all right, Steve. That's all right. So, very quickly taken there, no mistake, and that is that goal by Sebucan. Juancito, of course, the man stepping up to the plate once more. Goal number 5 now for the 4-goaler. So he's nearly matching the number of goals he scored on Friday. So 1 goal in it. Now, we haven't had that for quite a while, but it is still early doors here in Chucker number 4. 6.5 minutes left to play as the ball is thrown back in on the far side, this time by Federico Martelli. Oh, a swing and a miss there from Llorente, and that could be a nice little possession play here as they turn it around. Who's going to come out first? Well, Spinacci turned first, but Grant Ganzi now playing the back position, picking up this ball. Haven't seen that much of Grant yet in this final, but as I said, Steve, they very often leave the best till the end. Ganzi now sends it out to the left-hand side, but I think that was a miss hit. Or a chance possibly for Strom, but down comes that hammer from Pulido. A cut shot there from Bellini to Bellini, as Juan Bellini will take it deep in his own half. A lot of pressing going on here from Saint-Mem. want to try and capitalize on the fact that they find themselves in that Sebucan territory. Again, Juancito Bellini manages to clear it, and he might decide to run this one himself. Plays it over all the players. Llorente now on the halfway line. Nice stick work, nice control, turning things around very quickly, and a good support there from Paquito, but unfortunately Paquito did not realize he had a man already as they turned that around. Pablo Pulido already firmly established on that line. So an unintentional right-of-way infringement there, I'm sure, by Paquito de Navai. And and we're going to have a hit from the spot in favor of Sebucan. Play is called Bellini. Now he could still, if he were to take a long shot from there, possibly have gotten that 2-point challenge. Remember, any donation made will be matched, I should say, here by our executive producer, Mike Ferreira. A little near side tap there by Pulido. Oh, it hit the post. Ever so unlucky there, as the Frenchman will try and get a lot of distance between him and or the ball and the goal mouth. Ball going over the back line. Now, of course, had that come, which I don't think it did, but had that come off a defender, we would have the equivalent of a corner in polo. This is not the case. A regular ball going out of bounds, and it'll be tapped into play once again by Robert Storm. Storm looking to send the ball up to Llorente. That's a little bit short. In comes Bellini. Juancito. An appeal there by Ganzi. The umpires are having none of it, saying play on. Again, picked up by, or nearly by, Spinacci. It's turned, and it'll be Llorente. Facundo Llorente. Can he control it? Oh, he has a little bit of a difficult angle there to try and take that ball. It was literally under the pony's belly. Strom sends it out to the, well, he tried to out to the left-hand side, looking for Paquito, but again, Bellini working very hard here. Bellini in a little sword fight there with Llorente. Eventually, Llorente will come out on top, and he might send this one up to Paquito, but the number 4 position, of course, held very firmly there by Juan Bellini, who got a piece of it, not the kind of piece he wanted. Ganzi, very quick there to pick that one up on the near side. Played out to the open space where he can maybe turn and cut in. That's what he's done. Gets a hook there, I think, from Spinacci. As again, Bellini. Incredible the energy and the vision this young player has. But that's what I like about Juancito. Juancito, a man who will make himself useful all over the field wherever he's needed. He nearly got past Llorente on that play. STM trying to steal the ball back off the sideboards. Paquito de Navai. And that ball going over the whistle, so we will have a change of possession. Well, let's have a look at the clock, 2:48. And before we continue with that change of possession, the player's going for a courtesy change. A little bit stop and go now, Steve. Now the flow is somehow not quite there anymore. Some of the passes are not being, or some of the shots are not being hit well on both teams, really. It's not just to say that one team, but both teams seem to struggle a little bit with hitting clean shots. The passing also not that great. Now it is a very hot day here today.
Do we have the ability to trigger that? We couldn't really see you hit that off.
Well, the umpires just in a little bit of a confusion there as to who that ball came off, because that will determine who has the possession. Sometimes not an easy call to make, you know, when you have 7-8 players all standing on the ball. So in a situation like that, and if I'm not mistaken, Steve, the call is now to just go for a throw-in.
Yeah, absolutely. If the umpires can't tell who the ball came off of, then they will bowl it in from the boards. And this is the only time that the bowl-in occurs from the boards. Well, and you know what? I'm going to take that back, because after a goal is scored from nowadays, we bowl in from the boards to the center of the field. And the reason for that is, should the ball go through, then they have a lot more playing field to play in instead of bowling from the center to the boards. And if it goes through, then it ends up against the boards, and then it makes a conglomeration of players. So anyhow, the ball's back in play off of that bowl in, and here is Sebucan winning that bowl in and sending the ball downfield to Pablo Pulido. But Grant Gansey with a near side back shot attempted, and Polito picks up the loose ball, and here comes Robert Strom with an offside back shot over to Lorente. Lorente rides off a player and gets the ball off the boards, being ridden by Juancito Bellini. Here is Lorente sending it down, looking for Grant Gansey, unable to reach him. However, Robert Strom comes in, and that ball from the boards to the center of the field, and Strom going straight up and down from back line to back line. So a right-of-way infraction right there, and this is going to go in favor of Sebucan for a penalty 5A.
Indeed it is. 2:13 on the clock. We are in chucker number 4, and it is 14 goals to 13. So a hit from the spot, as you rightly said, Steve. I'm glad you just took back what you said. You took a lot back of what you just going on about there with the throw-in, but you're absolutely spot on, Steve. Absolutely. So here we go then. Just waiting for that last player to come back over the halfway line before the umpires call play. There it is. You might have heard it, and it'll be Juan Bellini. Low ball through the centre, looking for a blue shirt. Spinacci will steal it on the near side, but in the process loses his mallet. And that's a very nice gesture there from the Frenchman to straight away give it back to Spinacci. So a little whistle on that play, Stevie.
Yeah, and you notice all the players stopped as well, too. So, you know, that's kind of the way this season has gone with sportsmanship here at the Grand Champions Polo Club. So happy to see that. And, you know, a new rule this year is a fair play bowl-in. So I think that's what we might see right here, where the team who is in possession when the whistle blew gets the ball back. That way they're not cheated out of a play in any way, shape, or form. So Bellini sends it over to Spinacci. Spinacci riding Paquito, and STM was in possession of the ball, and that's why we see this play right here. Now it's anybody's ball game, and Paquito tries it on that paint pony once again, but here comes Lorente. Lorente tried to send it downfield, and maybe Juancito, or excuse me, no, that's Polito. Got a little piece of a hook right there, but Lorente swings through it and still ends up with that loose ball. Lorente all by himself. Polito's going to check down and wait on him. And there goes Lorente hitting a long ball downfield. Juancito on the near side. So is Robert Strom. And they neutralize each other, getting their mallets tangled up. Paquito with a back shot right in front of goal, and it's still on the field. Here is. Nope. Now it's wide. The goal judge waves it wide, so we'll see what the call is right here. But it was back through the goal. But the goal judge was waving the flag wide on that play. So a little bit of a discussion down there at the south end of the field. So I believe we have had a whistle with 46 seconds left on the clock. So the umpires will go and have a word with the goal judge, which they are allowed to do. The goal judges are an official of the game. Okay, so it was determined that the ball was over the back line before the back shot through the goal, so no goal on that play, and we will have a knock-in from Juan Bellini Sr. with 46 seconds on the clock. Here is Bellini. Bellini sending it over, looking for Juancito. Juancito drops on the line and the right away. Strom comes over to defend. A long shot downfield, but Grant Gansey with a one on his back, playing the number 4 position in this play. There's the first horn. A nice neck shot over towards the center of the field by Robert Strom. Juan Bellini with an offside back shot, trying to gain a little real estate, and look out right here. Pablo Spinacci hits a neck shot, but nobody home but Grant Gansey once again playing back. Going to bring the ball over here towards the near boards, neutralizing that play, stopping the attack of Sebucan, and here is Lorente. Reaches back, gets that play, ridden off by Spinacci. Here is Robert Strom. Robert Strom, and there's the second horn, and that play is going to end right here in front of us. Don't go away. A score of 14-13, still anybody's ball game as we come back for the 5th period of play right here on Chucker TV.
To be able to come here and play a course such as this, it's a great experience. Probably the best tee gift I've ever received, so, and that's no lie. My wife actually gave me a pair for Christmas before I played in the tournament, so this will be my third pair, so I'm looking forward to it.
Over the calf, 17 and a half. Outseam, 43 and a half.
We make a personal pattern for everybody, and that takes a lot of different points on a body to draft a pattern.
I have at least 7 or 8 pair. Great golf course, and get a pair of blue jeans out of the deal. It's freaking awesome.
The down for that is 17 and a quarter.
What was that, about 32?
Yep, you nailed it.
Same thing you've been wearing since high school.
6 and a half.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks so much for being here, and good luck today on the course. We will do a true shotgun start today, so good luck today, and y'all have a great time.
People aren't accustomed to getting a gift like custom pants at a golf tournament, but for clubs that do offer that to their members, it's been a success every time because it's so unique, it's so different, and it's an American-made product that's custom. You get measured for it, you get to design it and pick it. Who doesn't like that?
Getting a pair of jeans from Blue Dot is a great gift, something unique, something that they normally wouldn't get that they really appreciate.
Welcome back, everybody. Chukka number 5 about to start here. You are joining us, and we're glad to have you with us here on Chukka TV, the Grand Champions Cup 16 golf final. Sebucan in the blue shirts against Sol Mem and Steve. We were just looking at the score sheet here after that last Chukka. Only one score coming in from, of course, Juancito Bellini in Chukka number 4. No score by the team in red, Sol Mem. And it was a little bit, I think it's fair to say, a little bit patchy, that last Chukka. A lot of the players just not making the connection with the ball, and the passing also not great. So I don't know if it's the heat out there this morning. It is a very, very hot Sunday morning here in southern Florida. And let's see how they fare. So I'm sure they will have had a moment to get themselves refreshed in that previous, in that last little break, of course. So 2 more Chukkas lie ahead. And Sebucan still trailing by 1, but they are inching closer and closer to first of all getting the equalizer. So we have 2 more Chukkas underway. Keep those guesses still coming in. Steve, the question you had early on, how many matches have been played here at Grand Champions Polo Club this season? We had a young man with a figure of, was it 138? So a chance for you to win a nice prize, courtesy, of course, of Chukka TV. And, of course, we are still very much hoping we might see one of the 2 teams here at least attempt a Cats 2-point challenge. Any donations made, of course, will be met and matched by our executive producer, Mike Ferreira. Now let's go back to the action again. A swing and a miss there by Spinacci. Well, the one man who you can rely on for scoring goals is this young man with a nice ball up down the centre there, coming from Juancito Bellini. A deflection and a chance here now for Sebucan with Pablo Pulido. Pablo Pulido, and he wants to take this one all the way, and he makes no mistake. A long time in waiting that goal. Pablo Pulido getting his first goal of the final and the equaliser, 14 goals apiece.
And the first goal from the field since the 3rd period. Only 1 goal score, as you mentioned, Yan, in the 4th period, and that was on a penalty 2 by Juancito Bellini. So both teams having a little bit of a dry spell there in the 4th period, but Pablo Pulido taking down the dam and letting that water flow. So they'll line up once again on Martelli on the far side, and here is Lorente working that ball down along the far boards, being chased by Juancito Bellini, and also Juan Bellini going back as well. Juan Bellini couldn't quite get a hook in there, and a shot by Facundo Lorente, putting it through the uprights, breaking that tie, a score of 15-14. So once again, STM on top.
Well, that equaliser was very short-lived. Facundo there, picking up the ball from the throw-in and doing what he does so well and beating Bellini. So very short, that little equaliser as it stood, I think less than a minute. And Sol Mem are back in the lead by 1, 15 goals to 14. And we're down to 5.5 minutes left to play here in the penultimate Chukka. Ball is thrown back into play. And I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me, Steve. It's going to come down to now winning those very important throw-ins. Llorente, once again, has possession. Facundo just leaving everybody behind. Llorente now on a very fast pony, and of course therein is also the signs and the strategy when the players come out on certain types of ponies, and all of a sudden things seem to be working very well here. Saint-Même putting on the pressure again. Llorente trying to weave his way through, gets a bump and a ride off there from Spinacci. Is there another red shirt in that melee of players as they are so deep now in the half of Sebucan? Llorente will try and steal it back, taking the scenic route round the outside, leaving all the traffic behind. Llorente with a shot to goal, just a little too iron, I think is all he's going to need, and there it is. 2 quick goals in succession here by the 7-goaler, and all of a sudden that 2-goal cushion back in and restored.
Yeah, Facundo Llorente picking up the pace here a little bit, wanting to do things on his own, and so far being successful with 2 goals this period from the field in the early stages of the 5th period with a little over 4 minutes left. So the players once again will line up on Federico Martelli, STM in red on your left, and Sebucan in blue and white on your right. So Sebucan's going to win this bowl in. Spinacci gets the ball out. However, Llorente comes in there and picks it up, and a quick whistle. So we will march towards the south end of the field in favor of Sebucan, and we'll see where the umpires place the ball here in their ball placement. And I would assume this would be an open goal penalty. But remember, the umpires want to stay consistent with what happened on Friday, because this is a continuation. So one of the 4 C's of umpiring: consistency, confidence, control, and courtesy. And this looks like it's going to be a penalty 3, which is exactly what they did on Friday. So the umpires staying consistent here with their penalty selection and ball placement in favor of Sebucan.
I think they should add another C to that, like charming. They should have charming as well. A bit like you, Steve, charming.
Oh, well, thank you. Although, it's sometimes hard to tell those players if they're charming or not with their helmet on. And, of course, I think everybody's charming until some of them put their left foot in the stirrup. And then things change. So, anyhow, here we go. Juancito Bellini. Is he going to tee up or take a hit? He takes a hit, and should he miss, he will get a re-hit because there was a Sebucan player on the field, which is a no-no on an undefended penalty 3. So, Sebucan coming back within 1 goal on that penalty 3 by Juancito. A score of 16-15 here in halfway through chukker number 5, and we might have our courtesy horse change right here, Jan. And for all of our viewers, don't forget, if you can guess how many total games we have had at the Grand Champions Polo Club this 2021 winter season, then a prize from Chukker TV. And only last time I checked, only 1 guess so far. So don't forget to get on the comment section and put your guesses in.
Well, after that goal coming from Juancito Bellini, he has now matched the number of goals he scored on Friday, which was 6. He's now also, with that penalty 3, managed to get another 6 goals to his name. So definitely the highest scorer so far in this final. And as you rightly said, Steve, quick courtesy change. Players coming back out very quickly here. 3:23 on the clock. 16 goals to 15. Spinacci now also getting himself, I think, a fresh mallet. And it'll be Federico Martelli to get things underway with the remaining 3:23 on the clock here in the penultimate chukker. Ball comes out the far side and it's going to be picked up by Llorente. Facundo Llorente, under the very watchful eye of his father, Horacio Llorente, who is here, watching, very keen to see how his son is doing out there. I think the entire Llorente family are in town. Great to have you with us, senor. And I'm sure he will be hoping and rooting for his son and his team. Well, a little bit of a discussion going on there whilst a young man by the name of Robert Storm just waltzing through that Sebucan defence as if it was the simplest thing in the world to do, and getting another nice goal. Goal number 4 now for the Frenchman. And by doing so, Steve, restores that 2-goal cushion.
Absolutely. And Robert Strom's first goal from the field, 3 on penalty shots, 1 from the field. So a leading score of 17-15 with a little under 2.5 minutes left on the clock. So once again, Sebucan headed towards that south end of the field if they can win this bowl-in right here. So the ball's back in play and on the ground by Federico Martelli, giving the ball back to the players. And it's Polito in there with a hook. Bellini ends up with the ball. Bellini Sr., he's trying to get some room, get around Lorente. Lorente has no play on that play, giving Juan Bellini room to dribble. Juan Bellini carrying that bouncing ball down the field, unable to keep it going, and a nice back shot by Ganzi to Lorente. Lorente with a breakaway right here, hitting that bouncing ball over to the right-hand side, looking over his shoulder. He's got 3 blue shirts coming after him right here. Oh, unable to keep it going, and Polito's going to bring it over here to the near boards, being backed up by Juan Bellini. Polito with a shot downfield, staying on the field, has another play, going after his own shot. Paquito with a near side back shot, turned on by Lorente. He's got to step on Spinacci. Spinacci in hot pursuit. Lorente looks over his shoulder. Lorente knows he's got room to work. A nice little approach shot by Lorente. Lorente, just a little tap right through the goal and able to score for Facundo Lorente's 3rd goal of the period with 1:08 left on the clock. So, Yan, a hat trick here, and Facundo Lorente picking up the pace.
Absolutely. All of a sudden, a much, much more stronger and confident STM out there, very much due to that 7-goaler. And I think Horastia, for the first time, is actually cracking into a little bit of a smile there. He's quite happy with his son's performance. He was shaking his head just now when he topped that ball. So, as you said, a hat-trick there by the 7-goaler. He's on the ball again, but this time a little bit naughty, a little bit cheeky there, because the way it looked from where I'm sitting, Steve, Juancito Bellini was on that line. Facundo trying to run away with it, hoping the umpires wouldn't notice. But a very good job being done, of course, by our 2 mounted officials, Mark Holmes and Federico Martelli. So, as I thought, a hit from the spot, a penalty 5-8 taken by, or will be given to Sebucan and taken by Juan Bellini. Bellini now looking to play it to a undefended, or an unmarked, I should say, blue shirt. There is the horn, 30 seconds left to play, and it's going to be nice little chip shot there from the Frenchman, feeding it back to Facundo. Ganzi completely out on his own. That ball's a little bit too short. He waits for the ball to come to him, does exactly what he should, which is pick it up on the near side. Paquito tucks in nicely behind to lend a helping hand. And at least they are in Sebucan territory. Let's have a look at the clock. Now we're down to the last 3 seconds of play. So Sebucan will have it all to do and all to prove when we come back. 3 goals in it, but they've shown that they can do it. Coming back from a 3-goal deficit. Remember, they came into this final by 6 goals to 9. And they came back, drew level. But once STM put the pressure on, it's going to be a tough order. Make sure you join us. Stay tuned here on Chukka TV for the 6th and final Chukka of the Grand Champions Cup 60-goal final 2021.
There's something about when you get up early, prep the plane, and you take off, and you get that first light of day. And the air is crystal smooth. You can see forever. You have to have the right aircraft for the right flight with the right crew up front. Only NetJets can do this. The flight dissolves into the background. It should just be the here and now.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
Yes, I got my swagger back. Yes, I got my swagger back.
Welcome back, everybody. Chukker number 6 and 3 goals are needed by Sebucan. And as we said at the end of that last chukker, they've shown and proven that they can do it. But they just need to keep it together now. They need possession. They need to try and make the most of any opportunity when they find themselves in STM territory. Some of course, the team in the red shirts. But what a great chukker we saw just now, especially by that young man, Facundo Llorente, with a hat-trick, of course. Overall, his 4th goal of this final. And, of course, play will resume where play ended at the end of that 5th chukker. So, best of luck, gentlemen, as the ball's thrown into play. The man on the ball as we speak, could be the man who makes all the difference. Juancito Bellini, as I said so far, having scored another 6 goal. He scored the first 6 on Friday. So at the moment, he leading the tally of goals scored with a total number of 12 goals. Bellini will send it to Bellini. He will just let that ball come where he wants it to be. A little bit of a cut shot there towards goal. Didn't quite get the angle as Facundo now dangerously close in front of his own goal mouth. Does not want to make an error here and lose possession, because Bellini will take him to the cleaners. Well, he's done very well. Llorente now. Llorente on his own. Paquito once again sends it back up to the front where, well, it was going to be the other Bellini for a moment there. Juancito coming back, having to now go back in defense. Spinacci will turn it. Spinacci creates a little bit of space for himself. Pulido is out on his right-hand side. That is where that pass was supposed to go. Didn't quite get the length he wanted. He might just pick this one up. A cheeky little play here from Spinacci. Now then, another one of those cut shots that we saw from him earlier in the game. No, he's decided to tap this one in. Spinacci, it just runs short of that back line. And now Bellini. Bellini wants a clear shot to goal. He's complaining that Paquito de Navai was right in his way there, and I think the umpire saw it similarly. They've blown the whistle on that with 5:54 on the clock. So a big opportunity now here for Sebucan to claw one back. This, Steve, is far from over.
Yeah, Sebucan making those foul shots, and Juancito, I don't want to jinx him right now, but he hasn't missed one in a long, long time. And no problem here, sends it right on through, so that 2-goal margin back rearing its head once again. So the players will come back to the center of the field on the far side, and Sebucan needing a little momentum and a little bit of drive to get back in and tie this game back up.
5:30 on the clock by the time they get to the halfway line for the next throw-in. And I said, Steve, this is going to come down to exactly this. I think this will be the very important first step, winning those throw-ins from the throw-in. And looks like Sebucan have done just that. They will send Spinacci on his way. Pablo Spinacci, he knows he's got a man on. Where's that next blue shirt? Spinacci, can he take it all down? Comes the hammer. But Juancito backing him up very nicely there. Also, Pablo Pulido coming back deep. Now, all of a sudden, a chance here for a counter-offensive attack from Saint-Mem. That ball, again, a little bit too short. Bellini will stop it and turn it. Leave the traffic behind. Will cut back in if he can. Paquito needs to be careful not to cross that line. Now, Bellini could shoot, but he's got his teammate and dear friend today playing against him, Grant Ganzi. And again, a whistle on that right-of-way infringement.
Yeah, exactly. 2 players coming down the line, Pablo Spinacci and Paquito. The umpire's whistle sounds, so I believe we'll have a horse change right here, and we will have a penalty shot in favor of Sebucan. So looking like this could be a 1-goal difference right here after this penalty shot. Should it be converted, so Sebucan still not out of it yet. They're coming with the momentum and gelling here in early parts of this 6th period of play. So we'll wait on that player to come back. They have changed horses. They are back, and last chance to guess how many games we have had here at the Grand Champions Polo Club this 2021 season. So Juancito Bellini converting that penalty 3 with a 1-goal difference, a score now of 18-17, and still in favor of STM.
And that is goal number 8 for Juancito Bellini. Well, Steve, as we thought it might go, it's going to go down to the wire. 1 goal in it, 4:15 on the clock. Do you think Sebucan will turn up the heat now with the last 4 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. But, don't forget Lorente as well. He did it in the 5th period, early stages, and he's got different ideas right here, right now, taking that ball towards the south end of the field into the corner. Juan Bellini marking him over there, but it looks like Paquito's going to break towards center. Lorente trying to get around Bellini, dribbles past him, taking the ball towards goal, and successfully puts it right on through. Once again, leading by 2, STM over Sebucan with 3:40 left here in the 6th period. So Sebucan having a little work to do very quickly here in the 6th period to bring this game back to a tie. But right now we'll have a whistle when we get back to the center for our courtesy horse change. And at this time we'll give a little shout out to Peter Rizzo, who he questioned our 4 and 5 C's there, and he's not sure that charming should be a word used for umpiring. And, we've seen some good-looking umpires and some not so attractive. So, you know what? He could be right.
Well, maybe he was just talking about you, Steve.
Well, that could be. He's seen me many times, so he could be, but he could be right. I'm not sure. I used to be undecisive, but now I'm not so sure.
Well, maybe in your case we should then go from charming to curvaceous. How's that?
Well, all right. Maybe we'll get some feedback on that as well. So, all right. Courtesy horse change completed. Players coming back out onto the field. So, STM in red, leading by 2, 19-17 over Sebucan with 3:26 left here in the final regulation of the 6th period of play.
Goal number 5, we just saw that. Goal number 5 overall in this particular game, of course, on Friday. Let's have a look. How did Facundo? He scored a total of 4 goals, so he's definitely up on Friday's performance. So 9 goals in total now for the 7-goal player. And, of course, we will be having a prize presentation right after the end of this 6th and final chukker. So do stick around on your screens and watch with us the prize presentation. We'll also have the Grand Champions Best Playing Pony blanket awarded to one of the ponies that we've seen here this morning. But as you said, Steve, let's go down back to the ground. We are just under 3 minutes left to play. And again, the pressure coming very much here from the team in the red shirts. Paquito de Navai. Cheeky little play there from Paquito. This could be his 2nd goal. And if he does score, that'll also be a double up on what he did on Friday. And there it is. Paquito de Navai getting his 2nd goal of the final. And we're back to that 3-goal advantage. 20 goals to 17. 2:20 on the clock.
Paquito, he played in the World Polo League for somebody too, didn't he? So he's got at least 1 game of 26-goal experience. Early in the season, maybe it was before you got here, Jan, but I remember playing that paint pony, and he played here on field number 2 at Grand Champions. But anyhow, back towards the action. Here goes Juancito Bellini carrying that ball towards goal. Can he keep it from going off the field or no? And actually, that was Pablo Pulido, I stand corrected, unable to convert that shot. So once again, STM, the clock on their side with a 3-goal lead and 1:40 on the clock, so they're not in any hurry to put this ball back in play, but if they maintain possession, let that clock stall out, then they will be the winners of this 2-day event right here. But Juan Bellini coming in for the back shot, looking over his shoulder at Paquito, and here comes Strom. Strom beaten there by Spinacci. Spinacci out front has a little bit of a jump on the next red jersey. Spinacci can't hold it, and it's backed up by Lorente, and here is Pablo Pulido taking a shot on goal, redeeming that last shot that went wide. So a 2-goal difference right here with a little over 1 minute to play as they come back towards the center.
Nice goal there. Very nice goal by Pablo Pulido. His 2nd of this game here this morning. Again, finding himself just where he likes to be, taking care of business. We're down to the last 40 seconds or so. Well, I think, Steve, it's relatively safe and fair to say that Sol Mem are as good as through. Down to the last few seconds as Pulido might just get another shot on goal here. It's cleared. There is the first horn. Maybe Bellini can put another Another goal up on the scoreboard. There comes the snapshot from Bellini. Oh, he does. What a great goal there by Bellini. But will they run out of time? I think that might just be what will have done the damage at the end. 4 goals to 2 in this 6th and final chukker. But as I said, the damage had already been done. The players are shaking hands. 20 goals to 19 is the final score then. Congratulations to Solmem with Grant Ganzi, Robert Storm, Paquito de Narvaez and Facundo Llorente. Commiserations, they came back strong, but it was just not quite their day today. Sebucan, a great goal at the end there by Pablo Pulido. And as I say, commiserations to Juancito, who for me was a very, very solid player. A total of 7 goals in total scored in this game. 13 overall over the 2 days. Pablo Spinacci, of course, great to see him back in the saddle, and Juan Bellini putting the finishing touch on that game. We will give the players a few moments to get off their ponies and hope that you will join us in a few minutes for the prize presentation of the Grand Champions Cup 16 Golf Final 2021. Join us in just a few minutes. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good afternoon. Yeah? Thank you very much to the studio. Very good morning to you all. But now we are delighted to have none other than the Cobra, Mark Ganzi, with us here this morning, who's going to conduct the prize presentation. But before we get on with that, can I ask everybody, please, to put your hands together. A big round of applause for both teams here in the final of the Grand Champions Cup 16 Gold 2021. Thank you very much, Mark, for coming out to do the prize presentation. Well, let's get on with the prize presentation. We're going to start, of course, with the runners-up. It was a cracking and a very close game. Sebucan, of course, the runners-up. Please step forward at number 1, Senor Pablo. Well done, Pablo, scoring 2 cracking goals there in that game. At number 2, ladies and gentlemen, please step forward, Senor Pablo Spinacci. At number 3, the man with the highest number of goals in this final, 13 the total. Give it up for Juancito Bellini. And of course, the man at back, the maestro, the man with all the experience, Juan Bellini. Well done, Juan. And now over to the winning team, STM or STM, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Ganzi on the podium. Please step forward, the very talented Mr. Grant Ganzi. At number 2, a man who I'm pretty sure is going to go all the way to the top. Give it up for the youngster that is Paquito de Navai. At number 3, ladies and gentlemen, the highest handicap player in this final. Please make some noise for Facundo Llorente. And of course, the man from France, the 5-goaler, a cracking game, a total of 4 goals as well to his name, Monsieur Robert Strom. Now we will have we have 2 more awards to give. Shall we do the yeah, what about the pony? Should we do the pony after? Right at the end? We'll do the pony first? Let's do the pony first, ladies and gentlemen. Here she comes. Can we please bring this young grey mare into to the view? And she is the Grand Champions Polo Club best playing pony of the Grand Champions Cup 16-goal final. Her name is Torda. She was ridden by the young man already by her side, Paquito de Navai. Please, a round of applause for the best playing pony Grand Champions Polo Club, Torda. Thank you, Paquito. Thank you very much. Now, of course, one more very important award to give, and that is for the Grand Champions Cup 16-goal MVP Most Valuable Player Award. And Mark, you can keep guessing. You can keep guessing. The answer is Facundo Llorente. Exactly. Well done, Facundo. Well done to both of the teams. And if I can now kindly ask Sebucan to exit stage left to allow Cale Newman to hand the beautiful trophy up to Mark Ganzi, who will then present it over to the winning team. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Make some noise for the winners of the Grand Champions Cup 16-goal final 2021. STM with Grant Ganzi, Paquito de Navai, Robert Storm, and Facundo Llorente. Thank you very much, Mark, for conducting the prize presentation. I hope you've enjoyed the action coming to you on Chuck It TV. Of course, remember, the action continues next week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be down in Miami, on Miami Beach to be precise, for the WPL Miami Beach Polo World Cup. Make sure you tune in on Chuck It TV. Just go to gcpolo.com, hit schedule, and you will have all the names of the players, the teams, and the schedule lined up there on that website. For now, I wish you a very pleasant rest of your Sunday afternoon. Enjoy your weekend, whatever you're doing. Stay safe, and make sure you tune in again to Chuck It TV next week. From all of us here at Grand Champions, thank you very much for watching. And we look forward to having you back very, very soon.
to me in a dream, like a subconscious impulse. I can see it right in front of me.